And welcome back to Play Action Fantasy Football. This is Jonathan here with you going over our Week 16 tight end start sit. It's going to be a good week. We got a lot of tight ends here, and it's Christmas week, so it's going to be a good one. Why don't you guys go subscribe real quick? We really appreciate it. We're really trying to build up the followers as this is our last few weeks, so please go ahead and do that, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. First, we got our Thursday night game, Saints at the Rams. Taysom Hill, Tyler Higbee. Definitely got to start Taysom Hill this week. It's going to be a tough matchup against the Rams, and Hill did not have his best week last week. I will remind you of that, but he's been on fire all year, and he's certainly a heavy part of this offense, catching the ball, throwing the ball, running the ball, everything. So definitely got to start him. And Tyler Higbee, I would not start him this week. The Saints have a very good defense. The Rams are relying on Williams and a lot of other weapons and not Higbee, so definitely sit Higbee. Saturday, we got our 4:30 game, Bengals at the Steelers. Tanner Hudson, Pat Freiermuth. Got to sit Hudson this week. He had a fumble or two last week, or at least almost fumbles, and I don't think the Bengals are going to be relying on him very much. So I definitely would sit Hudson this week if you even have him in your lineup. And Pat Freiermuth definitely is going to be a cautionary start. We're going to see how he plays, especially with Mason Rudolph in there instead of Trubisky or Pickett. So it's going to be a big change-up for him. He could have a very good day, might have a very bad day. So it's kind of hard to point your finger with Pat Freiermuth. But against the Bengals, it's a good rivalry. Freiermuth is a good tight end. So look for them to get a good usage out of him for sure. Going to our 8 o'clock game on Saturday, we got the Bills at the Chargers. Dalton Kincaid, Dalton Knox, Gerald Everett, some good tight ends here. Kincaid is going to be a start this week against the Chargers. It's a good matchup for him. The Bills are relying more on the running game, and their offense is shifting towards the running game. So it's going to limit Kincaid just a tiny bit, but he's still going to be a start. Still got to get him in your lineup. And Knox is going to be a sit. He's playing behind Kincaid now. Knox is getting a little bit of usage now that he's back off injury, which limits Kincaid again a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be very significant. So definitely got to sit Knox. And Gerald Everett for the Chargers, definitely got to get him as a cautionary start. He's going to be one of those guys that we really don't know how he's going to play, with Justin Herbert playing very inconsistent. And the Bills, they have a very mid defense, a very inconsistent defense. Sometimes they play bad, sometimes they play good. So Everett is a cautionary start. If you have him in your lineup, just be cautious with throwing him in there to start. Going to Sunday, we got our first game. We have the Commanders at the Jets. Tight ends Logan Thomas, Tyler Conklin, not too much to talk about there. We're sitting both those guys. Neither of them are very sufficient, especially in the playoffs. Next up is Lions at the Vikings. Sam Laporta, TJ Hawkinson, another easy one. We know who these guys are. We know we're starting these guys. They both have good defenses, so they're going to be a little limited maybe, but one of these guys are going to break out. Definitely get them in your lineup. Next game is the Browns at the Texans. David Njoku, Dalton Schultz. Definitely start David Njoku this week against the Texans, who have a very shaky defense, and the Browns, who have been finding Njoku more and more this season, especially with Joe Flacco throwing the ball. And this offense is turning to more of an offensive pass game, and so definitely get Njoku in your lineup. And Dalton Schultz is going to be a cautionary start. He's a very good tight end. C.J. Stroud's a good quarterback. However, the Browns have one of the best defenses in the league, especially against tight ends. So it's going to be a tough week for Schultz. If you have him in your fantasy, you might have to play him. Don't be too scared, but I definitely wouldn't expect too much from him this week. The next game is the Packers at the Panthers. Tucker Kraft and Tommy Tremble. It looks like Tucker Kraft is going to be a cautionary start this week. The Panthers defense, again, not too impressive. Tucker Kraft has been playing above average so far this year, filling in that tight end role. So I definitely think definitely a cautionary start for Tucker Kraft. Don't be too scared to throw him in your lineup. And as far as the Panthers go, Tommy Tremble, he's going to be a sit. And same thing with Hayden Hurst if he's playing. So definitely sit both those guys. The next game we're going to will be the Seahawks at the Titans. It looks like we have Noah Fant and Okonkwo. This one, pretty easy. We're going to sit both these guys. Noah Fant, not a big part of the Seahawks offense. Definitely don't want him in there. And Okonkwo, I thought about a cautionary start for him against the Seahawks defense, but this Titans offense, they're going to be running the ball. They're not going to be passing the ball to Okonkwo. If they do pass the ball, it won't be to him. Definitely want to sit him this week. Next up is the Colts at the Falcons. Mo Alley Cox, Kylan Granson, both sits for the Colts. They're really splitting this tight end position up in the Indianapolis. They have Taylor coming back. Definitely don't want to start either of those guys. But the Falcons, Kyle Pitts, this is a great matchup for him. The Colts defense is really struggling. Kyle Pitts, he hasn't had a great year, but this is a breakout game he's bound to have. So I'm putting him as a cautionary start. Don't be surprised if he doesn't have a 15, 20-point game and he only puts up 8 to 10 points. But he's at least guaranteed that, and I think he has a chance of putting up more than that. So definitely cautionary start for Pitts. 4 o'clock game Sunday, we have Jaguars at the Buccaneers. Evan Ingram, K. Dotton. Evan Ingram definitely going to be a start. The Buccaneers have a good defense, but this Jaguars offense relies so much on Evan Ingram, especially as they've been struggling as of late. So definitely got to get Ingram in your lineup, as always. And K. Dotton, he's a cautionary start. If you have to put him in, put him in. This is a good matchup for him against the Jaguars, but this Buccaneers offense is certainly not centralized around him in any shape or form. So he could have a good day against the Jaguars, but I would not bank on it. Definitely a cautionary start. 4 o'clock Cowboys, Dolphins, Jake Ferguson, Smythe, I'm not going to cover much. Dolphins have a bunch of other weapons they use. Got to sit him. Jake Ferguson is going up against a good Dolphins defense. It's going to limit him a little bit, but I still think he's going to put up points, and you have to get him in your league. Definitely have to start Jake Ferguson. Next up is the Cardinals at the Bears. We're looking at Trey McBride and Cole Kmet. Both these guys, great tight ends, young, great tight ends. We got to start both them. McBride's been having a great year. He's a talented guy. I definitely would start him. And the Bears, Cole Kmet, definitely got to start him as well. Cardinals' defense is very shaky. Cole Kmet is going to take advantage of that, especially Justin Fields back there. So definitely start McBride and Kmet. 8 o'clock Christmas Eve, we have Patriots at the Broncos. Hunter Henry, Adam Troutman. Adam Troutman, not much cover there. Got to sit him. Hunter Henry for the Patriots. He's going to be a cautionary start. He's very inconsistent, as this whole Patriots team really is. Not just offense or defense, but their entire team is very inconsistent. So Henry is going to be a cautionary start against the Broncos. It's a good matchup for him. So we will see how he plays. If you want to take the chance on that, go ahead. He's one of those guys who, if you have to fill in, kind of take a chance. Hunter Henry might be that chance. Now we're going to Monday, Christmas Day. Raiders at Chiefs at 1 o'clock. Michael Mayer, Travis Kelce. We already know where we're going with this one. Michael Mayer is going to be a sit. Travis Kelce is definitely going to be a start. Our 4:30 game on Christmas is the Giants at the Eagles. Darren Waller is back, as well as Goddard. Goddard's going to be playing tonight, Monday night. Again, I'm recording this on Monday. Keep that in mind. And we will see how he plays tonight. But I do think against the Giants, Goddard is going to be coming back off his second week. He's going to be firing on all cylinders. Definitely got to start him. And as far as Waller goes, Eagles have a great defense. Waller's not going to have a great day. They got DeVito in there with his macho Italian ass, and I don't think it's going to equate to anything for Waller. Definitely have to sit him. Our 8:15 game Monday night, Christmas night, Ravens at 49ers. This is going to be a hell of a game. I'm very excited for this one. Isaiah Likely, George Kittle, both these guys are going to be a start. I think they both have good defenses, but they both have very good offenses. So look for a high-scoring game for sure. And definitely want to start Likely and Kittle. Likely's filling in for Andrews, has been playing great. He's a good tight end. Not Mark Andrews. Lamar Jackson loves to find Isaiah Likely. Definitely got to start him. And George Kittle against the Ravens. Again, good defense. But Brock Purdy's been firing on all cylinders, and he will be finding George Kittle. So definitely get Kittle and Isaiah Likely in your lineup this week. And that will wrap up our Week 16 tight end start sits. This is Jonathan here with you. I hope you guys enjoyed. Go comment. Let me know what you think. If you think I should have started somebody or sitted somebody, whatever the case may be, we like to hear from you. So go ahead and do that and have a great fantasy weekend.